Oh my goodness! Battle Cat, you a fool for this one! Welcome to the foundation. It is yours truly, the incredible DJ Battle in the building. Hey man, it feels good to be back. Never mind that. Let's jump straight to disclaimer time. Disclaimer time! Basically letting you guys know that, hey man, it's just me. I'm just going to cover just a few topics, catch you up to speed on what took place in between the last show and the current one. But as usual, I don't want no drama, no BS, none of the above, because it's for entertainment purposes only. Well, where do we begin? Man, I'm pretty sure you all seen this foolishness by now. How people go through enough as it is, just to even go to a doctor. You know, whether it's to get a checkup or mental health or anything of that nature. So, one would think the best place to go when you're in labor would be the hospital, right? So we look here, this is Mercedes Wells in Crown Point, Indiana, at a local hospital where we all seen the footage and it's very disturbing. A woman going through labor. I've been through 3 of them with the missus, so definitely know what it's like to try to get them accommodated, get them comfortable. And if they're getting epidurals, anything of that nature, it's just wonderful to be in a setting where you can, be comforted and deliver your baby. In this situation, Mercedes was denied that opportunity. You seen her. You saw the video. She's right there with the intake person, and the intake person is, basically putting out all of the yellow and red tape to keep her from being admitted, on the phone, trying to get information. She's not in her best state of mind. You can't just have a woman that's actively in labor just sit there and go through all this long questionnaire. Get this woman in there and get the person who brought her there, which was her husband, to help out with the situation with the information. So it was just very disturbing to hear that, she got denied and, they had to go, basically had a child on the side of the road. Like, how inhumane is that, right? Talk about the stuff that we go through. This right here is just sad. But there you go. You see her with her brand new addition, and thank God the child came out healthy. This could have played out awful. And shout out to the husband to be able to be there and help her out. Because this is a dire situation, and I honestly hope that she bankrupts that hospital. Go for the jugular. That, like I said, this is a human rights thing. They just treat our people like damn animals. Well, I can't even say animals, because they treat animals better than that. Oh, it's a puppy. Get the puppy. He got his legs ran over. Oh, little Bruno. But a woman coming in active in labor with the leg hanging out. You know what I'm saying? Baby coming out and you just gonna put her out on the street? How can that woman sleep at night? Ah, man, that just burns me, man. It really does. It really does. And I pray, I'm gonna have to follow up and see what happens. What's the outcome going to be? On to the next subject, man. In my state, it's been real active as of lately. As soon as I got word, and I would say it was probably like a good 3 or 4 days before ICE came down here to North Carolina, I put the memo out, on message boards, like, look, be on the lookout. ICE coming. ICE coming, and I have very reliable sources that I can't reveal for obvious reasons. And it came like clockwork. I told them they're going to Mecklenburg County first. And what happened? They was there this previous weekend, like clockwork. Believe it or not, I was already out there because I was at a football game. So I was out there for, the whole weekend. And the temperature was up, man. You could see like, the little ICE vehicles kind of tucked away in certain areas. I saw a lot of folks complaining that their leaves weren't picked up by the landscaper, or there weren't a lot of workers coming in that were migrants or immigrants. What you expect? If they were smart, they better not come, because what happened? Oh man, it just hit the ground running. I seen footage of some ICE basically just tackle a mother while questioning her. First they pulled her over, right? You know how they do the routine. It was supposed to be when see a license registration, they go in straight into what country you from. And the lady actually had papers, but they still football tackled her right in front of her child. And I'm like, come on, man, really? They doing, really? Hey, woman got papers, you still football tackle her? And the kid, poor child, teenager, just screaming her heart out, man. Mama, mama. And I already knew what it was. You know, it's you have to look at it like this. Everything has this agenda, or they got to capture the right moment so they can send the shockwaves and chills through the people they want directly affected. So by showing that particular scene where the child screaming her head off, and they carrying her mother off like cattle into the ICE vehicle, it sends the message clear that as long as it's replayed, and anyone who has that doesn't have citizenship, or if they do have citizenship but are of Hispanic descent, man, it sends a clear message that either you need to leave, hide, run, but it definitely sends a great message of fear and to be prepared. Charlotte's one of the larger markets in North Carolina. And yeah, there are a lot of Hispanics or immigrants here in this area that are doing a lot of good. So it's just terrible to see this happening, but what can you do? Yeah, you can protest, but as you can see, they're going to meet protests with some targeting, and they took the act on the roads. They not only they did Charlotte over the weekend, and went ahead and moseyed on down the road to Raleigh, and they're here right now, and right here in my backyard, in the neck of the woods. I've already heard plenty of stories, like up in Cary, man just got ambushed by ICE. There's a lot of ICE traps and near food lines, near Home Depots, Lowe's, and places like that, of Hispanics just getting pulled out the vehicle. Just vicious, man. They have the mask on and everything. So I'm just surprised that it hasn't turned violent yet at this point, because as you can see, these ICE agents are still, running around here with masks on. It's hard to be reliable on who's actually who, because it could be anybody anybody put on a damn mask, get out there and pull somebody over and do them dirty. But yeah, this here in my backyard, man, and it's all over the city, and like I say, it's footage pouring in. I'm gonna see what I can grab, but yeah, it's on and popping here in Raleigh. It's crazy. And what else is going on? Well, you already heard the news. Yeah, Congress has spoken. Release the files. Release the files. Whew. Yeah, just seemed like it just won't go away, huh? It's crazy. So yeah, it's just amazing, because now Trump is doing the 180, saying he'll go ahead and release the files, and he has nothing to hide, and he's saying a few negative things about Jeff Epstein and how he was a pervert or a pedophile. At the end of the day, he could have been revealed this, a long time ago, like he promised. So, we don't need to state the obvious. Anytime when you're avoiding something, or you're trying to cover up, you must either you're directly involved, or someone who's financing your situation is directly involved. But we know he's gonna always protect his rich buddies, his wealthy buddies, and that's no secret. But it's just amazing how he wants to all of a sudden do a 180 and say release the files. But we already know that this guy, he move how quick he moves. So if he's saying that, then that means he already has some blockage in other areas. He already has set up some traps in other areas to where he can get a loophole and get out of it. And I caught on to one of them real early, and that was from the Epstein estate. They said that Trump is already, he already has a situation going where he's getting all the Republican names removed from the list. So if you do happen to see that list, it's gonna either look like this, or it's probably going to be removed completely to where you won't see the folks that he don't want to see, but you will see the Democrats. But I don't get caught up into the Democrat Republican. Like I always told you, there's one party, everything else is theater. And you can tell by the way this is playing out. But when it came down to certain votes, and you had certain Democrats defect in Congress to try to keep it blocked. Well, now it's unanimous, except for one voter in Congress that they want the files released. So we know it's going to already be some BS. A lot of distractions are going to come your direction. And there's already one happening now. One is this right here. Where is it? Here's one of them. You see a huge presence of warships heading down to the Caribbean, heading towards Venezuela, right? Look at them. They're strategically placed and ready to go at the drop of a dime, because we already know anytime that heat get on the president, we know some major distractions are going to come on. We already saw a mass shooting in New Jersey, and now you have these warships around Venezuela ready to pretty much set it off. Because once that's set off, all the attention's gonna be there. So don't be surprised if it pop off within the next 2 weeks. I give it 2 to 3 weeks. If it gets to the Senate and they actually go through with it or something, or if there's a situation where he knows that the votes are going to go through, something very, very catastrophic is going to happen. Trust me. And don't be surprised if it's these warships popping off down there in the Caribbean. And something else that was kind of odd. You saw Laura Ingraham, pretty much, giving Epstein a pass for dealing with underage women, almost making it seem like the girls were old enough to consent, and it's really no big deal. So now all of a sudden, pedophilia is, or should we call it MAPS? We might as well call it minor attractive persons, because that's what they're looking like now. They might as well rep the flag and everything else. It's just not cool at all. You saw the PSA those victims put out, and it was just brutal. Oh my goodness. They put their pictures up of themselves when they met Epstein. I was 13 years old. I was 14. Another girl. I was 15. No, it's in no way, shape, form, or fashion it is acceptable for any grown adult to be messing with underage women. And I do mean under 18 years old. Period. Yeah, they try to get a little gray area to 17. But come on, man. Rules are rules. If you're really about law and order, you really should take pedophilia really serious. And as you can see, Laura Ingraham is just blurring the lines like it wasn't a big deal. Like they knew what they were doing. Yeah, girls mature much faster than boys, but that still doesn't give a grown ass man the right to take advantage of that. And you saw what happened. It's ugly, and I just don't see nothing good coming out of this situation. Because once again, once that heat turns up, the warships are gonna pop off, I believe, first, and you already know what's going on with ICE. ICE is already rounded up. How many? 81. They had 81 arrests here in Charlotte, day one. And Charlotte is popping off right now as I speak. Yeah, man, these are dangerous times. Dangerous times. Don't count on that $2,000 either. That's just a distraction as well. I know it ain't gonna happen. So don't bank on it. And one more story I want to talk about. Now, I'm pretty sure you guys have seen this situation at the game between Texas A&M and South Carolina. And this was a very important game as far as Texas A&M is concerned. If they lose this game, it's a lot at stake, being that they're the number 3 team in the nation and trying to hold on to that playoff spot. And there was a situation in the game where a player scored a touchdown, and you could tell he pulled a hamstring and ran in the tunnel. He was just coming back, kind of excited, happy, got the momentum going. There was a trooper there who was there for Texas A&M covering the game, And as you can see him pointing after he bumped the player that you see and his teammate. And as you can see, he was kind of intimidating, putting his finger in his face, and I'm pretty sure it's been covered a lot, but it's just something to see law enforcement who was supposed to be there to protect the players was directly injecting themselves because his home team was getting their ass handed to him at the time. And this was like an intimidation tactic to, try to draw a rise. Brothers ain't going for it. We already know how to deal with law enforcement. We know it's a no-win situation, especially off the camera. So being that this trooper has shown this kind of behavior and intimidation with the camera on, they need to really examine the people he arrested, ticketed, anything you can think of, because I can guarantee he abuses power on a daily basis in any opportunity given. And the bar is really low for them when it comes to determining whether you are an issue or something that needs to be dealt with or taught a lesson. And I'm glad it was caught on camera. And yeah, it was good that Texas A&M relieved him of his duties, but they really need to look at his career track outside of that as a state trooper. Because I guarantee you, there's a lot of brothers who probably are locked up from troopers like this who abuse their power. And so yeah, it's something that needs to be dealt with. I honestly don't think this cat needs to be a trooper. Definitely don't need to be serving the public. He probably needs to figure something else out. But hey, what can I say? There's more troopers like this, believe it or not, or law enforcement like this than not. So we know how the blue code goes, or the blue badge of honor, whatever they call it, the fraternity. They're not going to turn their back on each other, right or wrong. So. But yeah, it's like I said, it's just something we used to dealing with. We used to dealing with the abuse of power. So yeah, definitely, keep that in mind. And probably another reason, even more of a reason why need to come on back home to HBCUs, where we'll take care of our own. We won't have to worry about issues like this. Just bring the talent, bring everything back home. That's the way they made it. It's dangerous everywhere. And the tripped out thing is the momentum shifted in that game once that happened. Texas A&M came back and won. Good for them. Good for them. But still a black eye on the whole game atmosphere. It definitely took away from everything. So yeah. But anyway, I'm not gonna hold you guys up. I know you're probably getting ready for the holiday weekend. It's right around the corner. I'm pretty sure you're getting your holiday meals, especially if you got your EBT cards or whatever. Or whatever. But yeah, I'm definitely going to get ready to roll up out of here. Praying that everyone has a wonderful weekend. I'll try to get on next week. But yeah, you already know. Share, subscribe. You can contribute. That'd be wonderful as well. DJ Battle 313. That's at Cash App. And I'll see you guys soon.